Welcome back to another episode of The Next Step, the podcast where we share real stories of resilience, adaptation, and overcoming life's biggest challenges. I'm your host, Kevin Gray, a bilateral amputee myself, and today's guest has an incredible story of courage, determination, and adaptability. Maggie Parker and her husband are passionate motorcyclists who have traveled thousands of miles across Canada and the US. But in 2019, their journey took a tragic turn when a devastating accident nearly took Maggie's life. After being airlifted to the hospital, placed in a coma, and facing severe injuries, she ultimately underwent a below-the-knee amputation. Despite this life-altering event, Maggie has found ways to adapt, rebuild, and keep moving forward. Today we'll talk about what it's like to live every day with limb loss, the challenges of recovery, the role of technology in her mobility, and how sharing her story online has helped her with her mental health. Maggie, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me with you today.
Yeah, it's great. So listen, I know that you like to drive motorcycles. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a feeling of having the wind in our face and just riding everywhere
Yeah. I
was speechless.
when I the last time I rode a motorcycle, I was I don't know, maybe in high school, and I rode dirt bikes. And the last time I ever rode one is I jumped up in the air, going across the field, and the front wheel fell off. And I went down on the forks and completely tumbled all over the place. So I haven't been on a motorcycle since.
Yeah, I would avoid it too.
Yeah. Well, listen, you and I have a little bit in common. We're Canadian, but you married somebody in the U.S. and you're originally from New Brunswick, but you're now living in Tennessee. Uh,
Correct.
yeah, and you like to drive motorcycles. And from the last time we talked, you were telling me that you rode your motorcycle all across Canada and all across the U.S. Like you've been everywhere on it.
Well, actually, it was a part of Canada and a part of US.
Oh, okay.
Like the province of Ontario and province of Quebec, and then the east side of Mississippi River.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
before we get into, talking about your recovery and whatnot, let's just talk about how you met your husband and how you got into riding motorcycles.
Well, without knowing each other, it was around 2010 that we both start. Well, let me say first, Felix ride dirt bike when he was a kid, and he rode here and there before, but like truly riding a motorcycle to cruise everywhere with friend, and we started in 2010, each on like him in Massachusetts and me in Quebec. And then through mutual friend in 2016, we met, and since that day, we we rode together. Now it's before it was on a bike. Now it's in a Jeep.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we'll get to that too. And so you really found your soulmate, right? You guys love to drive motorcycles, and you just fell in love and got married, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. When we got married, unfortunately, Felix had his second motorcycle accident. So the only bike on the picture is mine.
Okay.
but yeah, it's a part of our life too to have bikes and total them. It's kind of, hey, why not?
Okay, well, listen, what you remember what your favorite ride is or a memorable moment while riding?
uh the one that kind of solidify everything. It's a ride we did back in 17. We did over close to 5,000 miles in 10 days.
Wow.
Um, yeah, he left Massachusetts, come and pick me up in Montreal. We rode west to Niagara Falls, west or east. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm bad at it.
That's
Anyhow, from Montreal to Niagara Falls, and then when we crossed the border, we stopped and see some friends in Missouri. We had we spent a few days there, and then we visit a little bit Nashville, and then we continue south to New Orleans, where we spent two nights, 2 or 3 nights, I don't remember.
okay.
And then we came back up on the east side. Um, on We passed through the Chesapeake Bay Bridge in Virginia, in Norfolk, Virginia, and we took the Cape May Lewis ferry, and then I let Felix home in Massachusetts, and I drove solo home in Montreal.
Wow, that sounds like a fabulous trip. I love New Orleans and I love Nashville. Like it just, the music and the vibe, right, is so fun.
And the food.
And the food, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, listen, and so that you're living life and you're loving your rides and you're in love and life is going great. And then 2019 happens and it's a life-changing event. You have an accident on your motorcycle. What do you remember leading up to that accident?
Actually, 2019, the life changing is when we got married. I moved to Massachusetts. A few months after, we moved in Tennessee, and then we bought a house, and then we rode a little bit. And in 2020, at the end of August, the accident happened.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So that day, that morning, we were getting ready to go to Paducah in Kentucky for a party, and weather looked bad in front of us, so we just signed and park on the side of the highway on the breakdown lane to put our rain gear. And Felix and I had a ritual. So on the bike, it was giving a hug, a kiss, I love you, you be safe, sit on each other motorcycle,
Yeah, I like that.
turn on turn on the key, thumb on the starter. And then when we were there, we were looking at each other. So as I was parked in front of him, I turned around and to see if he was ready. And that's when I saw that white pickup truck uh, going lane to lane, uh, trying to figure out where to go because in front of us there was an accident. So all the traffic was backing up. So he didn't notice that the traffic was stopped. Well, he told the cop that he didn't saw any brake lights, so he didn't know the traffic was stopped.
Right.
So when I noticed that he was coming straight on Felix, I covered my head with my arm, and I just screamed, and then for me, time stopped.
That must,
When I kind of came back to reality, uh, the reality was I was jumping on my right leg. But in fact, at first, Felix, when he saw me flying in the air, he saw my leg wasn't bending properly. So he knew something was wrong. So then I thought I was laying down on my belly, pumping up my shoulder up on my arm, but obviously I was jumping on my right leg and I was screaming. Like it was my second major motorcycle accident. So somehow, somewhere, my brain remembered that it was something wrong was coming in front of me.
yeah.
So I was screaming like trying to expose all my rage and my everything out of my lung because it hurt too bad. So
Make
uh
I can't even imagine what you were going through at that moment. That's just horrifying.
well I I'm kind of in between because my brain knows, but he doesn't. It's kind of my reality doesn't know.
Yeah.
So um, when well, Felix, to a point, he knew my left leg was something wrong. There was something wrong, but he didn't want to make it worse. So he he forces me to lay down and hold me down, and then we some of the people came around and gathered some parts of the motorcycle. I'm just kind of on the ground laying down, kind
Yeah.
of understand what's going on, and then Felix and someone made a tourniquet on my leg, and after that it's by sequence. Like I'm like you flip on and off switch. So I know I hear cops. Well, after that is silence, and then whoop, there's people, and whoop, no one, and then paramedic. I remember
I think it
some paramedic.
probably a
I'm
lot
sorry.
of shock, right? Like you're in shock at that point and
I,
you're laying on the ground and eventually I think you were telling me you were airlifted to a hospital, right? And placed in a coma. What was that like? When you woke up from a coma?
well, I don't know if it's voluntary or not,
Right,
but for me, it's kind of just um, passing out or not being conscious. So is it from them or is it my brain? I don't know. But I remember the paramedic for a few seconds. And then I remember I am in the helicopter. Um, again, my brain kicking, but not my reality. I don't know how to explain it, but it's the best word I have.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, you kind of
my sub my subconscious remember that, well, the reason why I was able to marry Felix is because his first wife passed at the hospital.
right,
So I knew without knowing that's where I was going. I knew I couldn't let go. I couldn't, like, there was no in hell I could let him going through
right.
that a second time. So I
That
in the helicopter.
probably gave you a lot of strength, right?
Well, yes, yes. He's not my partner of life for nothing. He is a rock, and lucky me, he is my rock.
Oh, I love that. That's so nice.
And so in the helicopter flight, well, again, out of nowhere, I knew I had no IDs, and I was thirsty, but I knew I couldn't drink because I knew I was going for um, for an operation. So I was just screaming my phone number and I want ice.
Yeah,
Just try to keep me alive or awake or conscious.
right.
So that flight, it was, I don't know, it's probably around 4 hours if we drive, but helicopter wise, I don't know how long it is, but
Yeah.
excuse me.
Felt like forever.
So, yeah, but next thing I remember is the sensation of the helicopter landing, which was on top of the Vanderbilt University Medical Hospital in Nashville.
Okay.
And I remember I heard a voice saying, "You're okay. You can let go a bit. They're going to take good care of you."
Okay. Was that a paramedic or who was that?
No, it was in my head.
Oh, it was in your head.
It was in my head. I heard that voice in my head. So
Yeah.
I know it sounds weird, but I can't make that up. It's so clear. It's like a video.
It's not weird. I think it talks to the strength that you have as a person, right? Like you knew that you had to survive. You're in shock and you're telling yourself, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be all right. So you're at the hospital and at some point you learn that you're going to lose your leg. Did the doctor tell you that? How did you react to that and come to terms with it? Okay.
Before we go to that doctor when he's telling me that I'm gonna have my
Yeah.
leg amputated, can I explain what I went through first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's for me it's very, very special.
Okay.
So when I land, I I felt they pull me out. I hear that everything's gonna be okay. They're gonna take care good of you. They're gonna take good care of you. And the next thing I remember, it was when I was in the OR. Um, I guess you could say I went knocking at the big man up there, and he wasn't ready for me around,
Yeah.
so he sent me back. But in the meantime, what happened is I saw myself floating above me in the OR. I was looking down on the table where I was. I could see all the spots. I could see all the nurse, the doctors, the machine. I still can hear all the beep beep from all the machine, and then I hear someone screaming, "We're losing her! We're losing her!"
Wow. Wow. That must be
And
scary.
that, yes, that is so weird, but it is so clear in my head, even almost 5 years after. So, and that's right after the next thing is when I woke up, I was in ICU, and I was connected to machine to keep me alive.
Keep you alive. You almost lost your life by the sounds of it through all this, but at some point the doctor tells you that you're going to lose your leg. And how did you react to that at that point? What was going through your mind?
Well, the accident happened Saturday night. They put some pins and rods, and as muscle, when they're dead because they were squished. My blood vessel, two were dead, one was very weak. So during Saturday, they tried to monitor to see if everything would be possible to do few operation, try to save my leg. But they were saying also that it might be lots of operation, lots of pain, and there's no guarantee that everything was going to be as normal as possible.
Right.
So Monday morning at 5. Well, actually, nights in the hospital are not very easy because they come in and out, and the nurse and doctors do their job. So, and your job is try to sleep and rest, but they have to keep you alive and save whatever they need to save.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after a kind of a bad night at 5 a.m., a doctor walk in and woke me up and say, "Okay, well, just want to let you know that in half an hour, well, you're having an operation. We're gonna have your leg amputated." Uh,
Well, they only
I
gave you
said,
half an hour.
he gave, well, in half an hour, I was supposed to be already down and on in the OR.
Oh, that must.
So I said, "Excuse me." I said, "What the hell's going on?" He said, "Well, you're having your leg amputated because there's no other solution." I said, "Okay." I thought it was a part. No, I said I thought it was a solution, but not the solution.
Mhm.
So then he kind of, after the first shock, he kind of calmed down and came closer to me and explained that no, with all the discussion that they had, he apologized for waking me up like that and not knowing that I didn't know. So I had the time to cry and tried the time to how can I say, they changed me from bed to bed, and I was down and I was sleeping and they were cutting my leg.
Yeah.
How raw it is, that's how it happened.
That's incredible that they only gave you half an hour. They wake you up from a dead sleep and they say, "Oh, we're going to take your leg."
Yep.
Um, that must have been so shocking for you. I'm so sorry that you went through that, Maggie. I know that you've been through a lot physically. What about mentally? How are you handling it? Like, I mean, through that, you woke up and they told you that you're going to lose your leg. And I know when they told me that I'm going to lose my leg, I remember that moment so clearly. And I'm just wondering how you felt when they told you that.
Um, let's remember that riding for us, it was the thing. Without knowing each other, Felix and I, we knew we wanted to move in Tennessee.
Right.
That was one of the first phrases we exchanged the the first night that we met and we start talking. So stopping all the writing that we were doing, the like the meeting with friends, and just jumping on the bike, going to the restaurant and coming back,
Yeah.
knowing that it was gone, because I knew it was done. I knew I was done with the motorcycle. The second one that I totaled, and I already lost enough bones before. So I, with that one for me, so mentally it was hard to, can I say, digest? And it was a lot to grieve in the same time because it wasn't only a lifestyle. It was, well, my bike for me was my my pride.
Yeah.
It was the extension of me. It was we were making one. Actually, it was my second road glide that I had, and it was the twin of the first one, and it was on purpose.
Right. Right.
So
It's
it
hard.
was,
It's hard to describe that feeling on a bike, right? And some people don't get it because they've never ridden a bike, but it's freedom and it's just the wind in your hair and the lifestyle, like you just said, is much different than most people can experience that they experience, right? Um,
correct.
yeah,
It's and and for Felix and I, it was so, like, okay, I would say it was so in our blood that now not being able to do it, it 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 was a long time to grieve. Um, 2 days ago down here, it was almost 80 degrees. So yeah, hearing some motorcycle, it was hard. But as much as it's hard, I just try to think about sitting on one, not moving, not seeing the bike, just thinking about sitting on one. PTSD and anxiety is way too bad
right.
for me. That is, as much as I would love, because I want to have those memory that I have so fresh in my head. I just can't. I just can't.
Yeah, and it's not like you can escape it, right, Maggie? Because all your friends ride bikes and you're around bikes, so you must be missing it to this very day, I'm sure. Hey,
Yeah,
listen,
it's like trying to stop eating when you're in the restaurant.
yeah, yeah,
Your plate is full in front of you. Well, what am I supposed to do? Well, you can't turn around, but you know what? There's gonna be food around in the restaurant, so you turn around here and there's bike everywhere.
yeah,
But what help? What help? We bought a Jeep. So
right. Tell me about that.
Felix,
Are you out like mudding and driving around in the swamp?
oh no, I have a pavement princess, so it doesn't go in the swamp. So
Okay,
but Felix take off the doors and we pull down the roof and the top, I mean, and we just go with the wind we have, and
well, that's
we
good.
we enjoy it. That is the closest thing we were able to find to replace the bikes.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Um,
That makes
yeah, oh yeah, it's and we really enjoyed it. We bought at one point we bought a utility trailer, and that was our camping.
yeah,
So yeah, we put a mattress in, and we arranged it the way it was nice, and then, well, we changed plans, sold the trailer, but still, we were able to do a lot, and now it's more just a ride, go to see friends, and just ride in the
That's
back roads down here because we do have a lot of nice back
Yeah,
roads.
that's okay. At least you get out and get the wind in your hair and that sort of thing. Hey, listen, I
Yeah.
want to move on to something else that you and I talked about, and that's phantom pain. So some of the listeners here on the call are new to amputation, and we know we you and I know that they're going to experience phantom pain. Um, can you just talk a little bit about how you deal with phantom pain? Is there any tricks to manage it?
Um, for for me, it's I tried different things. I tried different like magnesium, potassium. I tried gummies. I tried too much gummies. I tried no gummies. I tried alcohol. Tried too much alcohol, and I tried no alcohol.
Yeah,
So I tried it all.
yeah,
And but the first thing when it started, yes, it was painful. But the first thing I refused to do is being mad at the symptom. Okay. Because I did not want to uh, having anger about it because, in fact, I call it the phantom limb pain because, well, as you heard, my accent, French is my first language, and for me, phantom pain means the pain is phantom, so it's not real.
not real. Yeah,
Okay, so it's the phantom limb pain. So my foot is kind of ringing a bell, and he wants to make sure that I don't forget about him.
yeah, yeah. It's
So
hard to when you're feeling it, it's hard to like put it out of your mind. It feels real for sure. And I think like people say like phantom pain is real. I feel it in my feet and my legs. I look at my shoe and I'm like, why does my foot hurt when there's no foot there?
correct, I still have calf cramp.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, so that is weird, but my way to accept it, it was it was to identify what was the symptom. Was it pins and needles? Was it just numbing? Was it just a big zap?
right.
What I call a big zap is kind of out of nowhere. It's
Yeah.
like you put your finger in an outlet
It
and
makes,
you get that.
yeah,
Oh, sometimes, funny fact, there was one time we were relaxed, Felix and I on a couch watching TV, and all of a sudden a big zap happened. So I spread my arms and, mm, not on purpose, of course, I hit Felix. That's how bad it was. So the way I deal with is when I do have some phantom limb pain, I identify it and I either tap on my leg trying to move stuff around because I know that the phantom pain is your brain through your nerves trying to send a message to your foot.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, phantom pain for me is the way I deal with it is to try to get my mind off of it. It's so connected to your brain, right? It's like I'll watch a TV show or I'll read a book or I'll listen to some music, and that's the only thing that will help. There's no medication really for phantom pain, like you say. You've tried, even alcohol. Well, at least that's fun to do, you know. But yeah, there's no real medication or relief from it. Hey, listen, so people don't really understand phantom pain that aren't amputees. Is there anything like other than that you would want people to understand about living as an amputee? Is there anything there?
Okay, the way I explain it to put an image. Well, if you take your body, like for me, so through the knee, they cut below.
Okay.
So that means they cut the nerves,
Yeah.
but they didn't remove the cell in your brain.
Right.
So your brain still think that your foot is there.
Yeah.
So the image you can have is if you take an electric wire live and you cut it. Well, what's going to happen? It's the electricity comes at the end of the electric wire, but technically the wire is supposed to continue, but it doesn't. So the electricity is kind of
Jump.
panicking at the end because it needs to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So that is creating your numbness, pins and needles, zapping, or call it however you want. It's that's what it's causing it. So when I had my second amputation, what the doctor said, he said, there's a technology down here. I said down here because that's where I am. He said, I'm going to try. There is something that it was freshly new. I cannot say if it was months of year or years, but it was freshly new. They were taking a bit of muscle and attaching it at the end of the nerves.
Right. I've heard of this. Yeah.
So it was kind of putting a cap on top of the electric wire to avoid the electricity to go to spread out. But the thing is, some kind of spread out a little bit, but it's not as bad as.
Right.
So that is what he explained to me. But don't get me wrong, I have some time that it lasts and lasts and lasts. Like right now, I'm talking to you, and I have pins and needle on top of my foot, and I have numbness to my toes.
Oh,
And then,
sorry.
oh yeah, as soon as I talk about my foot, I guess he sensed it, and he is making me some funny sensation.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can relate to that. Hey, you're kind of back to life now after the accident. You're living your life with some routine to it. Is there anything that you can remember that was really hard to learn? What was really complex to relearn since your accident and your amputation?
Yeah, listen to your body.
Yeah,
That was the hardest part because um let's put us back when we had two full leg and we were able to move. Well, we're sitting, we're chit-chatting. Hey, you want a glass of water? Hey, wait a second. Took 30 seconds. You got the glass in your hand, the water in, and you're back sitting and keep talking.
yeah,
But for a while, well, you're in a wheelchair. Okay, so you gotta manage. Well, lucky us, we're on a one-story house, so I'm able to use the wheelchair.
right. Well, even that is hard,
Uh,
right? Because you have furniture around and shoes might be in the way and things like that, right? So, just because
yes,
you're in a wheelchair doesn't mean it was easy.
correct, correct. But after that is, well, learning how to walk with, and then of course you don't start with the best technology. You start with something good that's going to help you to move on,
Yeah,
to learn to relearn how to walk. But the hardest part is to understand that you'll never be like before,
mhm,
but you're going to be better than today.
yeah,
So with time, you gotta give yourself time to learn how to cope with the new missing part, the new adding part, because they removed well, for me, my bottom leg was probably like, let's say 10 pounds. Now, instead of having just a normal leg, now I have a part attached to my limb. And of course, I don't walk the same, and I don't walk the same speed, the same. But
right.
at the end, um, it's just it's just like it's just like everything in life. You gotta give yourself time
Yeah,
and accept. I'm not saying that it's easy. And I will I will never say uh I will never say that it's painless or it's no. The truth is it hurt. You're gonna cry.
Yeah.
You're gonna probably go through depression. I did.
Yeah.
Still have little wave here and there. Well, it may not call depression right now. It may be called just like tired of fighting. But
Yeah.
if someone asks me, was it easy? Well, I will tell the truth. Get ready for a roller coaster of a lot of things. But does it worth it? Does it worth it to fight it, to move on, to try to be better than yesterday? Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you're saying there. And you do have to be kind to yourself. And I found like I got very dark and very depressed when I first lost my first leg, and then I kind of accepted it and I was used to it. And several months later, I found out that I was going to lose my second leg. So I went
Oh,
dark again.
man.
I was like, how am I ever going to do this? I'll never be able to walk again, blah, blah, blah. And my surgeon came in, my doctor came in, and she said, why are you moping around? Why are you so sad? I'll get you walking again. You'll be able to walk again. And I thought, if she's telling me that, then she sees it all the time and she's able to do this with many, many people. So why am I doubting it? Right. So I stopped being so hard on myself. And that was a turning point for me. You mentioned the technology and whatnot. Now you have a computerized prosthetic, right? And maybe you could just describe how that works. I don't have one. Mine's manual or whatever you want to call it.
Mechanical.
Mechanical, right?
Mechanical.
That's
Yes.
the word I was looking for. But yours is computerized. Tell me about it.
I had one. Right now I'm back to mechanical because
Oh, okay.
long story short, the clinic I was dealing with, they were pushing on their stuff instead of what's good for for the patient.
Right.
But I had the chance to walk with for a few months with a computerized or a knee with a microprocessor in it.
Yeah.
The good thing was um, the way, well, as there's a computer, well, they program it that if the knee feel like you're making a movement too quick, like if you fall, it's gonna jam, so you won't fall. But I I tried one knee, and lucky me, I'm trying it again beginning of April. It's a knee with a microprocessor
Okay.
with a motor.
Oh,
So on top of having all the programmation that you want, that one will allow me to walk like different speed. It's gonna just adjust on the speed that I'm not running, but walking.
right.
The motor, what it's gonna do is like right now, if I sit and I want to stand up, I have a good leg, so I have to push my body up with my hand and that good leg.
Which takes incredible strength.
And after almost 5 years, yeah, the leg is tired.
Yeah.
I feel it. But that new knee that I gotta say, it's the Intui from the company Willowwood. They're
Willowwood.
based in Ohio. That knee is gonna help my right leg to push my body up, so I'll be able to stand up on my two leg like we were able to before.
Yeah.
On top, because of that motor, it's going to help me going up and down the stairs. So I'll be able to walk one by one like normal. Because right now it's one step at the time like a kid.
Yeah, you get some normalcy back, and people don't realize how hard it is to get up off a couch or a chair when you've lost your leg. It takes incredible strength in your core, in your upper body to be
Yep.
able to do that. You don't have both legs, so that's amazing. The prosthetics have come so far. It's just incredible. Do you remember when you first got your first prosthetic and you took that first step, is there anything that you would tell somebody that's getting their first prosthetic? What kind of advice would you give to them?
Um, I would say the clinic you want to deal with, the clinic you want the people in there to take care of you, you really have to choose them. There's so many. I'm sure there's so many in my area. I'm sure it's the same everywhere. You gotta visit them. You gotta talk to the people. You gotta find the person that's gonna sit down and listen to you as a patient, as someone who wants to help you to move on, not seeing you as a dollar sign.
Right.
Because okay, yeah, experience talk. So it's like right now, it's been a while that I'm working on my sixth leg, but I had so many things that went wrong because of me. And then there was vacation. And then I lost my job because I asked help for with insurance for my next leg. And obviously the person didn't like it. So she said, hey, she's trouble. So goodbye.
Well,
Anyhow, yeah, but you know what? It was a blessing. Right now, I work from home with
sometimes
my little jazzy music. I pet
I
my
feel,
kitty.
oh, sorry.
So it's yes, it was rough at first because I was seeing what I was losing.
Yeah.
But right now with what I'm doing, anyhow, I don't want to stay on that too long. But it's
Well,
let's say I'm
Maggie,
a
what
happy
I was going
I'm
to
a
say.
happy person right now.
Yeah, Maggie, what I was going to say is sometimes when you lose your job, it is a blessing in disguise, and there's always an opportunity. That you just have to keep moving forward, and things get better, right? You're working from home now, and you're like loving your job and whatnot. Hey, listen, are you ever going to ride a motorcycle again, or are you done motorcycles?
Um, I will never be able to write again. I
Yeah,
tried physically, I tried 2 times to sit on one.
yeah,
The first one, I wasn't able to. I had to like on half of the way, I stopped. The second time, I sat. I had people all around the bike holding the bike. Like it was and the bike wasn't even on. It was
right,
off.
right.
And my God, just thinking about it, it's it, it's a no go.
It's an,
Um, I
that's
have yeah, because of what happened to me. Felix had well that accident with me plus two before. Um,
Are you
my sister, my
able
sister.
to drive the Jeep? Are you able to drive the Jeep?
Yes,
Yeah, so
yes.
driving. Okay, well that's good.
Yeah, yeah. I have to add that, like my sister, she, by solidarity for us, she sold hers. She wasn't using it a lot, but at the end with that, and also, I have an uncle, my dad's my dad's brother, and his wife. They had an accident in 2007, and a kid with no experience was going too fast. Just they he went straight. He lost control and hit them, and they passed.
Oh,
So it's enough. It's enough. And also, when I talked about that with Dad, he said, I was a cop for 30 years, and I've seen a lot of parts on the road. So mom had a I don't know how to call it. It wasn't a motorcycle. It was like bigger than a moped, but
Right.
still it was two wheels.
Yeah.
And she sold it. I remember when we were young, Dad had a bike. Nope, for years and years, that was it. So, I think I'm gonna keep missing that for the rest of my life. That is for sure.
Yeah.
It's a part of us. It's
It's a
our souvenir. It's how we met and blah blah blah.
it's a real
But
void, I'm sure. Is there anything to fill that void? Like, do you have any new activities or hobbies that you're picking up since then?
um, it's most well, I wasn't a person very that was making sport before, so that didn't change. But I'm I just go along my day, little thing at a time. Like right now, I like old stuff. I'm 50, so I'm starting to like old stuff. So I like painting by numbers.
How did you get
Um,
here?
and since January, I woke up one morning and I said, okay, I want to tell my story.
Right.
So I open a Facebook page. I have no clue how it works. I end up on a business Facebook page, which I have nothing to sell. Well, if someone read it and want to do donation, well, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but my goal is not there. It's just to vent. It's just that I feel like I am tired of having it in my head.
Yeah. And
So I am ready to express it. I am ready to just take the most part of it off of my head
yeah. Yeah. I think
because
it's probably therapeutic for you to write about it on your Facebook. And I went to your Facebook page and read some of the story, like part of your stories, and your whole journaling is really powerful to read. So anybody on the call here that is new to amputation, I recommend you find Maggie on Maggie. What's your last name? Is Parker, right? Maggie.
it's Parker, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, my page is from wheels to walking.
Wheels to walking. I like that. I like that.
Yes, because it was the wheels of the motorcycle, then the wheels of the wheelchair, and now I'm walking.
Yeah, that's good.
So
Well,
yeah,
what's
and
next?
I don't charge nothing. I don't ask for. If you receive something from this page asking you money, well, it ain't from me.
It isn't for you. It's been hacked. Hey,
It's been hacked
Maggie,
because
what's next for you then? What's the next kind of thing in your journey here?
um well, since the beginning, what I always have is goals. So first one was just to stand up and then just to make a step and two and move on and blah. Now I have like I said at the beginning, I'm working on my sixth leg. So that one I know it's gonna be for a while because my leg is not done shrinking, but it's almost at its maximum.
Yeah.
So I know the next socket that I'm gonna get is gonna be good for a while. I'm looking for that new knee and a new foot. The knee I explained with the motor.
Yeah.
The foot it's because there's a self adjustment. So within a 2-inch heel to barefoot to running shoes, I won't see any difference because it's going to self adjust.
Okay.
So these two are my goal. Um, After that is just walking, being able to go out and walk on our yard because of course it's not even. We have a rain covert and the other side we have flags and we have a little
Right.
garden place with flowers and I want to be able to go there.
Yeah.
And after that is just you know what? Just enjoy. Right now, eat since Christmas, I can see that so many wonderful things are coming in front of us that I just want to let all doors open,
And enjoy.
just positive coming towards us and enjoy. I fight too much. I went through, I say but don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Felix is a part of
Right.
that I.
Right.
And my goal is not only for me, it's for us, for him too, to be able to enjoy life.
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause
So
you're in it together, right? This happened not just to you, this happened to him as well.
absolutely, because at one point I was in the bed in the wheelchair. He had to take care of the whole property inside out, plus working,
Yeah.
and it was a lot for me. So in front of me is just wake up. I wake up with Felix. He go to work. I get dressed. I do my little stuff. I have my walker, no walker. I have a treadmill come in, so I won't need to go out. I'll be just able to do my exercise in the house, and then just sit in front of the computer, do my whole job, and then just move the job aside and
Like,
continue writing my post.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, Maggie, I don't blame you, and you've earned it. You deserve this. You deserve to like take a step back. A lot has happened to you. You've been through a lot. An incredible journey, and you're very courageous, very brave. I'll say that. And
thank you very much.
I really enjoyed talking with you today. I really appreciate all your time, and I wish you all the best, Maggie.
Thank you very much. I just want to say, just before we finish, I want to say thank you to Aaron and his team at Restorative Prosthetic and Orthotics Clinic. They are in Nashville and north of Georgia.
Okay.
They are the one. Well, Aaron especially, because I have a lot of PTSD again with the socket, and it's not working well, and he is the one who's making everything come true, and his team is wonderful. They just to confirm that it is very, very, very important that you got to be able to rely on the person who's going to who's going to create your next leg.
Right.
You wouldn't allow yourself to walk with a rock in your shoe.
Right.
So why are you supposed to walk with a prosthetic leg that hurts you?
Yeah, and if it hurts in any way, you got to take it back. You got to get it fixed, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you got to find the right place to go. So they're going to help you to move on. And if you move on with slippers instead of a rock in your shoe, your journey is going to be a lot more smooth.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, that was good, Maggie. I appreciate that. This has been wonderful.
Maggie, your story is one of incredible courage. You've shown that life doesn't stop after limb loss, it just takes a new direction. Thank you for sharing your journey, your challenges, and your triumphs with us today. For those listening, if you want to follow Maggie's journey, you can find her on Facebook by searching Maggie Parker. Her openness and honesty about her journey is inspiring so many people. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to The Next Step and share the podcast with someone who might benefit from hearing it. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more inspiring stories from people in the limb loss and limb difference community. Thank you for joining us today, and as always, remember every step forward, no matter how big or small, is a step worth celebrating. Take care, and we'll see you next time on The Next Step.